Blog Talk Radio.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Jets Radio. This is one of your hosts, Tyson Roush, and this is a whole new series we're doing here. This is not your usual Tuesday night, 8 o'clock thing. This is something we're trying. Trying a new microphone, trying a new software, trying all kinds of new stuff here. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be interviewing a lot of your favorite callers, our favorite callers, talking football, just about anything. Football, free agency, draft, the coach, whatever the hell you want. So the first one has got to be my good friend Tyrone Johnson, because Tyrone always gets a great response. So Tyrone, this is Tyson. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, bro? Thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate it, man. Let's get it started, baby.
See, and you always want to start shit off right. You always want to be the first one, dude. You're the first one. See that? See how I treat you, man?
Hey, I appreciate it, man. You know, unlike, Joe treating with Steve, man, I don't have to worry about all that today, man. I got the best host in the world on here, so let's go, baby.
All right, Tom, before we get into all this, the first thing you're down in Virginia, man, and how the hell did you become a Jets fan?
Man, originally, man, I was born and raised in New Jersey. So when I was 5 years old, my pop said, "See that team in the green and white? That's your football team." And my uncle took me to my first Jets game, and I've been hooked ever since, man. It's like I feel bad because my son's a Jet fan, and I made him when he was 5 be a Jet fan. It's like I couldn't pick anybody else. It's like but I love it. I mean, it's just there's nothing like being a Jet fan. It's nothing like that camaraderie, the fans. It's nothing like it, man. And our day is gonna come. I hope one day soon.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. Now, if living down in Virginia, what is your way to always track the team? Do you just use like social media, or how do you follow the team?
Man, social media, Jets blogs. I mean, you guys, other writers, other bloggers. Connor. Just every avenue, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'm on every avenue. So I get a lot of, there's a lot of Jet groups and stuff like that, which is really surprising, man. There's a lot of Jets groups all over. So I join a group and I just listen and I follow and I seek information. And anybody that's talking Jets, man, I'm gonna give them an ear. But let me tell you something. I'm the kind of person, if I see a Jets fan, especially in Virginia, I hug them. I swear to God. I walk up to them like, "Yo, you're a Jet fan?" And I hug them. And it's what it is, man.
Like, I buy them beers.
Fan, man, your family. So it's nice, man. It's nice.
All right, so Tyrone, since you're one of the most popular callers, because your takes, either good or bad, generate all kinds of reactions, so we're going to start. I have like 7 or 8 topics for you, but we're going to start out with the draft. We talked about the draft a little bit, but overall, looking back at it now we have time to digest it, what are your thoughts on this draft class for Joe Douglas?
I love it. I think that he covered needs. I wish he would have got another receiver, but I mean, overall, I think he did an amazing job. I mean, listen, we haven't had a draft this good in 10 years. And I think that everybody is falling short of that. I mean, we're already starting this.
We already starting this already. We don't know what we drafted,
yes, man,
dude.
We
haven't had a draft this good in 10 years. They haven't been in minicamp yet. We didn't get them signed yet.
Well, get the right players here. I mean, listen. When's the last time we took an offensive tackle in the first round? The bigger shot first.
Or in general.
How long ago was that?
Yeah.
Exactly. Or taking some quality players. I wasn't happy with taking the quarterback, but I understand what he was trying to do. But I think overall he did an amazing job, man, especially moving back, still getting Mims. Now, I'm not as high on Mims as everyone else is. I'm just not. I just think, his production wasn't there to me like I thought he would be. I think he's a solid player. But overall, man, he's done a good job, but anybody who thinks that is crazy.
No, I think we figured out what kind of type of Adam Gase player is a Joe Douglas player. It's, high character, high work ethic, high character guys. I mean, these are all guys that are going to compete. I mean, you could see the mantra behind it. I didn't like the quarterback pick either. The running back pick kind of was But, like you said, you could see what he's going for. And listen, I like the way he navigated the draft. He traded back got players he still wanted. The Ashton Davis pick initially I didn't like, but now that I did more research on it, I understand it. So, listen, it makes sense, and we'll see, 2 years from now. You want to see these guys contribute something this year, but, it's going to take a couple years to figure out what we actually have in terms of this class.
In fact, I'm going to take it a step further, man. That Bryce Hall pick was still the draft. I don't care when. A kid, that's the steal of the draft. This kid would have been a first rounder if he wouldn't have got hurt. Definitely second rounder if he wouldn't have got hurt. If this kid comes back healthy, and we don't really need him right now, giving this kid some time, the kid's a monster. I mean, listen, I may even say, I'm okay with taking a punter. He's the best punter in college football. Why wouldn't you be happy with that? And I think that the fact of the matter it was his draft, and he drafted the way he wanted to. He didn't care who it was. He got what he wanted. Listen, man, the guy moved back. The guy took a third. Actually, he traded down to get a third. Traded that to the Patriots to get 2 more fourths in the 6th-round pick next year, man. The guy did an amazing job, and I think what he's building his kind of team. I don't even think it's an Adam Gase player. I think it's a Joe Douglas-type player, and the kind of player that he wants in the locker room, and the kind of atmosphere that he wants to have. You're going to work hard, go get us, and football players first. Yeah,
and the thing is, this draft was a perfect example of him not really caring about winning this year. This is like, I'm going to be here 5 more years, and I'm going to draft like that. Like, I'm building long-term, like, he has a vision. He's going to stick by it. It made a lot of sense, dude. Like, I'm not being critical of it before people start attacking me. I'm just saying, understand what he's doing. Some things I question. Like, I don't think he's still not beyond reproach where I can't question his draft picks because they haven't played yet. Like, this time last year, we were saying Ja'Kai Polite was going to be a godsend and all this other things. So the reasoning behind the way he handled things. No, but seriously, the reasoning behind the way he handled his draft, I agree with. It made a lot of sense. He got a lot of really good grades. And then you look at free agency. Now, if you look at the whole off-season program, we had to upgrade the offensive line. Now you had the draft and free agency. What do you think about the upgrades on the offensive line now?
I think they're better. I don't think that, it's as good as it could be or could have been. But I think it's a way upgrade of what we had last year. I think that's been the whole problem, man. We haven't drafted or signed quality offensive linemen in years. And, when you have a void in your team like that, especially up front, when you have a young quarterback, you don't give him a running game. That's rule number one. You give him a solid running game. You give him something he can fall back on, and you give him time in the packet. But I think Sam has overachieved at what he's done so far. But just bringing in McGovern, just bringing in the guys he's brought in, some of those are journeymen, but they're better than what we had. My biggest issue is, like, the guy who just broke loose in New Orleans. I would like to cut Winters in Wolford. I would like to cut Winters and bring Wolford in. I think Wolford, he's a big mauler, he's a 3-time Pro Bowler, and he's better than what we have. But I think that right now, man, he's done an amazing job. We haven't seen these guys play together, and I understand that. But compared to where we were last year, it's night and day. I don't think we're in a top 10 offensive line, but we're top 15, top 20. And that's better than what we had. You know what I'm saying? We have guys that can come in and fight. I think the guy Clark that he drafted in the fourth round as a player that can come in, move the guard, be a mauler, that kind of aggressive kind of guy. Back then, it just looks like he's going to be a monster. McGovern, we know what he can do. So I think he got the kind of guys that's going to be able to come in, protect Sam, maybe run the ball better than what we did in the last few years, and give Sam a little time. So I'm okay with it at this moment, but he's still improving.
See, and I agree with you. I think there's 2 things that he definitely improved on. He improved on versatility and depth. So if somebody goes down, we're not going to be shitting our pants, be like, oh, my God, now we're screwed. Here comes Colin Baxter. Here comes some other clown that never played before. There's more depth there. So I think that's better. Versatile. Guys can play guard, they can play tackle, they can play center, so that's even better, too.
Absolutely.
But, dude, to be honest with you, I wouldn't be done. I'd go out to Jason Peters. I'd go out to Warford. I'd bring back Kelvin Beachum. Like, I keep going, dude. Like, I'm not stopping here. Like, I go every day. I'm trying to find ways to make this line better. And the guy becomes available, and make a move. Like, you can't be bashful now. You got to go for it.
Absolutely. I think that, and I don't think it's done yet. I think better players are going to shake loose when training camp starts and guys will let go. I think that, the one thing I think that what he's trying to do is just trying to get that nucleus in. I think that the defense signing was just because if he didn't get a left tackle, he had the backup, which was a smart move. But I think also each day you want to improve. You want to put the best guys out there. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of how much you pay the guy, you want the best guys out there to build a wall for Sam. And everyone keeps saying build a wall for Sam. But at the same time, you have to protect Sam. You have to give holes to Le'Veon, Frank Gore. You have to help this team get better, and I think he's done that. It might not be to the speed that everyone wants, but how can you fix the O-line in one off season? He's damn near done that. So I'm not mad at Joe Douglas at all. I think he.
Listen, and I agree. And the thing is, you made a great point right there. It's like, listen, we're trying to replace 4/5 of our line pretty much. It's one thing to replace one. We're trying to do 4 guys. So, and it could even be 5 if we consider Alex Lewis if he plays or not. So it's like, I completely agree with you. But the whole goal of this offseason was improve the offensive line, improve the offense. So we went over the offensive line. Sam Darnold's still there. You should sign a backup quarterback, but that's another story. But now you look at running back and wide receiver. The tight end position, I think we could agree, are fine with Griffin and Herndon. They're fine there. But what do you feel about the running backs and wide receivers now? Did they do enough to make it better?
Well, I'm comfortable with the running backs. I just think that, I think Gase has to do a better job with Le'Veon Bell. I mean, I'm just going to be honest with you, man. I think it's impossible not to find a way to use this guy. I just think that he's been a class act. He's been a great Jet, and I think that if he gets some holes, if you watch it later on in the season, Le'Veon was getting better runs. He was getting loose. Holes really weren't there.
He was better blocking in front of him.
Yes. Exactly. So imagine Le'Veon with better blocking with Frank Gore behind him, being able to come in. I think the rookie that I think he's a match of Frank Gore. I think he's a younger Frank Gore. I think that's why they picked him up. I think that's why they brought Gore in as well. I think that they're going to help spill Le'Veon. But to me, I think Le'Veon's going to have a good year next year. I really do. I think that he's going to be able to run the ball the way he wants to. He's going to get the carries that he needs, and he has a better offensive line. And I think that helps Sam dramatically. I think if you have a situation where Sam can run the ball and then pass option and then look for something else or hit Le'Veon out the backfield, I think that's only going to help the growth for Sam. But to be honest with you, I think Sam's going to grow this year. I'm just being honest. I think that he's going to grow. I just think it's his time. Well, I think Sam is the best quarterback in the AFC. Bottom line.
Being the best quarterback in the AFC East is not really saying much because, Josh Allen is a rising talent. But, the Dolphins, Tua's got a lot to prove if he can stay healthy, and the Patriots, Stidham is whatever. But going to the wide receiver real quick, this is where I'm curious to see two things. I'm curious to see how they play and how Adam Gase handles them. Because, if Sam Darnold plays well, he can make his receivers better. But this is kind of like an incomplete unit. Crowder's unreliable. Perryman, everybody's trying to sell me how great he is. He's got a lot to prove, in my opinion. Mims is a rookie. Braxton Berrios is other guys. They have a lot to prove. I know Doxson people are trying to mention, but dude, it's like I kind of still want somebody else. I wish they could find a way to bring another talent in, but what are your thoughts on the receivers, man? Are you feeling this is like an average group, an above average group? How would you categorize them?
I'm gonna be honest. I think it's a below average group. I think Peterman. I think he's a drop below Robbie. I think not signing Robbie was a mistake. I really do. I think that, for the price that Robbie went for the Carolina, I think he should have gave Robbie what he wanted. I think that was a mistake. I think Robbie was coming on. Then you bring somebody in like Mims. Then you have something in the system. I just think, you don't know what Perriman's going to bring. You have no clue what this guy's going to bring. Nobody's proven but Crowder. That's it. So I think definitely you're going to have to bring a veteran in that can come in and really help from day one. But, we haven't improved. Even with Mims. Everyone is so sold on Mims, and I'm not. This is a different ball game. This is not high school. This is not college. This is the best cornerbacks in the world. And in our division, we have two or three really, really good defenses in our division. So, and probably two of the best cornerbacks in the league in our very own division. So, Mims, he's definitely going to find out, what it's about. So.
Yeah, I like the influx of speed. They added a shitload of speed, which was great. But then it's all right, now you got to use it. You got to stretch the field and use it correctly. So I think if you say the wide receivers, we'll just say they're average. An average group right now with a lot to prove. The running back, you have Bell. Gore is Gore. I think this puts a lot of pressure on Sam Darnold to make his players around him better, and it puts a ton of pressure on Adam Gase to play call better and maximize all the potential. The one thing, you can bring in pieces to the puzzle, but you need the guy to put the puzzle together. And that's Adam Gase, dude. And, he's got to do a better job, and Sam has to do a better job, man. He's got to open up this offense, too.
Well, I think Sam will have a better grab on the offense this year than they had last year. I think last year when Sam went in his office and Gase was like, well, I was waiting for you to do that. I think it's the dumbest thing in the world. But I think Sam has a better understanding of what he wants to do. Sam wants to do with the offense, not Gase. What's comfortable for him. And that's growth as a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? That's the hardest position on the field. That's the hardest position in the NFL. And I think that Sam's going to make a tremendous leap. I think getting Herndon back, I think this year right here, I think that if we had better receivers, I can definitely say we can make a push for the playoffs. But I think Sam's going to make better.
In terms of taking a big leap includes not taking terrible sacks, not throwing the ball in the triple coverage and falling off your back foot. He's got his mechanics and his game management. It's just got to be better, man. That's one of his biggest steps he has to take.
But he's still young too, Tyson. And you also have to look at, I'll put it to you like this: with the offensive line he had last year, I'm not giving him an out, but I'm saying that played a lot of factors in when you drop back and you have a defender in your face before you finish your drop back. I think that has to grow as well. But I think that when when he gets outside the pocket, I think it's where Sham is the strongest. When he's outside the pocket or when he's improvising, I think he does a really good job.
Yeah, but don't you think he's got to shed the label of getting skittish when he gets hit? Because, and listen, it's not his fault at all, because he took an ass beating last year. So it's not, I mean, that happens to everybody, but he's got to shed that label where if team stacks the box, they start pounding on him, he's not going to make those erratic throws. Don't you think that's kind of a rap on him early on in his career?
Well, I think, and I hate to say this because it's going to sound cliche, but I think he has to stop seeing ghosts. But that's coaching. That's also coaching. I mean, you have to understand, this is a young quarterback. You know what I'm saying? What is Sam, 23, 22,
yeah.
Yeah, he's still a baby. So I think
that's why you should have a veteran quarterback behind him, too. That's why you should have like a Josh McCown behind him or something like that. Or
that part of it, I don't understand. I think when he had Josh McCown, he had somebody to bounce him off. When Sam is the man, plus having, he's not really getting that structure back there. But I honestly think that he's going to grow this year. I think he's going to be a much better player. I just think that, if you watch what he's done and I'm not going to say the last 7 games, I don't care about those 7 and 6 last. I don't care about none of that. That means nothing to me. What I really enjoyed was watching this kid grow as a quarterback and make better decisions with the football towards the end of the season. And I think that's what he did. I think so. If he builds on that, and then also, Tyson, we got to look at he missed 3 or 4 games with mono. Not being able to practice, not being able to work, and being thrown back out there. But if you watch certain games, like the Dallas game, bro, I've watched those highlights a million times, man. This kid just looks so amazing out there against a really good football team.
Tyler, listen, I understand, dude. Like as a young quarterback, they're going to be inconsistent. There's going to be highs. There's going to be lows. There's going to be all that stuff. Like I completely understand. And I love Sam Darnold, man. Like I think it's the best thing we've had in friggin' 10 years. But there's certain things that you just want to see him grow from. And we understand he's young and he's inexperienced. But there's certain things you just got to take that step. And you got the faster he grows, the better this team will be. Like he can be good enough to overcome Adam Gase and his play calling, in my opinion. It's just you want to see it happen. But then you look at, if you go from him, then you look at the defense. And here's an interesting thing of the defense. They did a complete overhaul in the secondary, which I think the secondary is going to be better. You have 2 great safeties, and then you have the corners. I mean, if they get Ryan, it'd be even more interesting. But the question is, are we still going to be worried about the pass rush? Which that's still to be the biggest hole. You have better cover corners, but if there's no pass rush, well, the Jets going to be tougher because they're playing better opponents this year.
I mean, I think you're dead on. I think that that's the one thing we were lacking, and I've been saying this the whole time, man. I keep saying I'm not worrying about a pass rusher because I know that there was other holes to fill, but now you have a little bit of extra money. Let's try to find a pass rusher. I think
Marcus Golden
improving exactly. Benny Carey, another guy that can come in that can help. Could be a situational pass rusher. I mean, that's what we need. We need somebody that can come off the edge and help. But having the secondary was just so bad last year. I think that the coach was able to really, be diverse with his defense as the way he wanted to. Plus,
they also got lucky playing bad quarterbacks too.
Exactly. Well, we didn't have a strong schedule last year. This year, right here, we're going to play better quarterbacks. So you have to have better cornerbacks just to make the team better. Anyway, we probably has one of the 2 or top 5 best safety teams in the league. I think that, not having a pass rusher is something that we lack. We still finished number 2 against the run, and number 7 overall defense. I'm not using that as just saying that, okay, we did a good job. I think he has improved our defense dramatically. I think we're a better defense than what we were. And getting Mosley back, and getting Avery back. You know what I'm saying? Those are big-time players. That are going to bring the tone. That's going to bring that kind of, let's go get it, let's work together, let's whatever adversity we hit, let's get through it. I think that's definitely going to help. The biggest, but I also think about is maybe using Jamal or using some of these cornerbacks as pass rushers. But we have to get a pass rusher, something we needed for years.
Well, dude, that's the whole thing. Like the signing of the drafting of Ashton Davis, man. You can make Jamal a hybrid linebacker, man. You could put him at the line of scrimmage and say you attack, and then have May and Davis back there, or change your secondary and do all kinds of different things, and let just Jamal attack all the time. And like you can do different things. But I would still, dude, I still want a pass rusher, man. Like a legitimate guy that's gotten more than 5 sacks in his career. Like I love Jordan Jenkins, I like Frankie Louvu, I like all these guys. But dude, Marcus Golden or whoever, if you want to bring Vinny Curry in or whoever the frick, like just get somebody that could be a legitimate threat where an opposing offense says, we got to account for this guy on this side of the field because he's coming. And we haven't had that.
Absolutely. I think if we do that, that'll be the best way to get it done. I mean, not having somebody that can attack or somebody that can get there has been our problem for years.
True. Now, speaking of Mr. Jamal Adams, now which I've known you for a while. That we've been talking about this for 5 months. This whole contract thing, and now according to some, which you don't know who to believe anymore because everybody's searching for clickbait and followers. Jamal wants crazy money, dude. He wants his $18 million a year, which I said he was going to look for 5 months ago. Or do you think he's trying to price himself out of New York, or is he trying to price himself as the highest paid defensive player in football? What is he trying to do? Do you think?
I think he's a little bit of both. But I think that he wants to be the highest paid. I don't think we can do that. I think we can be the highest paid safety in the league and make him well compensated, but giving him $17, $18 million a year, that's a lot. That's a lot. And,
his rate is $16 million. That's like what the expectation is $16 million. So if he wants $17, is that $1 million going to really piss you off?
I mean, it's $17 million for safety. I mean, but like I said, Jamal is so much more than a safety.
More than a
He's
safety.
So much more than an average player. He's so much more than he means so much to this team right now. And
one of
I
the best
think that we're
defensive
not
players in football, dude.
Exactly. That's why it's hard to say that you can't pay this guy what he really is worth. But at the same time, it's the negotiations, and you can't $2 million a year. You just can't. I mean,
But is it your belief? Is it your belief he wants to stay in New York, or do you think he's just like, you know what? I want this money. If you don't give it to me, I want to go somewhere else where somebody else will. Like, what do you think his approach is here?
I think he wants to stay in New York. I think that he's loved. I think with Jamal, he wants to feel loved. He wants to be appreciated for what he's done. And I think you have to. I think that without Jamal, we don't have defensively we have nothing. And I don't mean him as what he does on the field. I mean what he does off the field, what he does social media, what he does just repping the Jets everywhere he goes, man. And the kid is well respected and loved in the league. So, having a player like that, I think we learned a lesson with Reeves. I think you can't let a player like that just walk out the door and just say, okay, well, he wanted too much. Sometimes you have to give. You just have to give. I mean, and if he wants $17 million, then give him $17 million. He's earned it. He's done that. He's not only just on the field, but off the field, man. He's a class act, man. And I think that you don't want to lose a player like that, especially when we're not paying anybody. We're not paying anybody, and I think now that you want to get him a deal done because in 2 or 3 years, that $18 million might be 21. You know what I'm saying? It might be a really crazy number, and this kid's only gonna get better, man. And like I said, man, he's all over the field. He loves being the Jet. He reps the Jet every chance he gets. But at the end of the day, man, he wants to feel like that love and compassion. So if we're not gonna give it to him, I'm pretty sure somebody else will. Like what's the saying go? What one man won't do, another man will. You know what I'm saying? So
yep.
I hope that we keep Jamal for a long time. I just think that, he's the face of our franchise, him and Sam. And I think that's a great face to have. I mean, when you got a player that comes in, man, that's just straight, I'm going to bring it every time I step on the field, it's the kind of attitude you want because it's contagious. Now you have the whole team feeling like that. You have everybody believing, man, I'm going to bring 100% all day because if you watch this man giving 100% and you not giving 100%, then we know it's not him, it's you. You feel me?
Yep. No, dude, I completely agree with you. This is the kind of guy I pay. Like, I just pay him. I don't make a distraction. He's one of the best players in football. He's young. He's dynamic. He's respected by the coaches. He's respected by his teammates. Like, it's just, to me, it's a no-brainer. Like, sometimes money doesn't matter, and in this case, for me, it doesn't matter. So, Tyrone, we'll go into the schedule. Instead of going into all 16 games, because that's ridiculous, to me, I always look at the first 4 games, and that's kind of like your first quarter of the season. It kind of determines what direction you're going to head for most times. And the Jets, for me, the first 2 games are tough, dude. You got at Buffalo and home for the 49ers. And you have all the changes we talked about on the offensive line. You have new receivers. You have a lot. I mean, this offense is going to be a work in progress. What are your thoughts on our offense playing those defenses in the first 2 weeks?
Well, I have a different take than most people do, and you might kill me for this. But as for Buffalo, man, I'm just being honest with you. Between us and Buffalo, we have the better quarterback. They have a great defense. We have a solid defense, too. We have Buffalo beat first game. So I think that, you know what I'm saying, I think we can go to Buffalo and actually win that game. I do. They have a great defense. They don't have a quarterback. I don't care how many great receivers they have. If your quarterback's not accurate, at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? To me, we're going to be able to stop their run.
But the question is, it's not about the quarterback. It's about their defense. their defense against our rebuilt offensive line week 1? Will the team be ready and on the same page fast enough to? That's it, right?
That's going to be the issue. And I think when it comes to San Francisco, we were number 2 against the run last year. So if we can stop their run, we'll be okay. Their defense is what it is. So it really depends on where Sam is at. Which I honestly, Tyson, I think Sam is going to be on point from day one because he's not learning a new system. He doesn't have to come in and learn.
See, here's my question. Like, is it more Sam? I know what's going to happen when people hear this show. They're going to give me feedback, and I'm already ready for it. But is it more Sam, or is it on the coaching staff that had this offense ready, offensive line? Like, you keep in mind, last year the offensive line didn't play together, man. Like, Gase has some weird-ass rules in training camp, but will the offensive line be on the same page, communication, all the signals on page, everything on the same line, and will the play calling be in a position to let them win the game? Like, that's my concern. Like, I think Sam is going to be okay, but I want to know what would be the level of preparation for this team. Will this offense being in sync week 1? Because say they have a rough time in Buffalo, which could happen. They could lose like a 13-10 game, whatever else. Then you're going home against San Francisco, which their defense is better than Buffalo's. I mean, they got just beast mode over. They just got animals in that team. So to me, isn't there more pressure on Gase to have this team ready?
Well, absolutely, but that's his job. And I think that whatever training camp we have, you have to get these guys playing together, especially the offensive line. You have to get these guys together. I think receiver-wise, other than Mims coming in, I think that everyone else will be up to speed. But I think the offensive line, you have 5 new players coming in, and that's what it is, Tyson. It's 4 new players on the offensive line. So you have to get these guys playing time. These guys have to get reps. These guys have to get used to signal calls.
That's the biggest story this offseason now. Yep.
That's it. That's the most important thing. I mean, everyone can say that, we improved our line because we haven't played together. Now if it's week 7, week 8, I'm more comfortable. But week 1 and 2, like you said, a guy could not see a call or not pick up a blitz, something like that. They can get Sam Kotak, especially playing against aggressive defense. But at the end of the day, if everyone does their job and these guys get better, it's all about coaching. Because to me, the offensive line coach should have been fired last year. You know what I'm saying? You had Callahan.
I could not agree more. I could not agree more.
You had one of the best offensive line coaches in the league out there without a job. Why not bring him in?
Callahan.
I just think that I'm not just blaming Gase last year. But I'm blaming him for not finding your offensive line coach. I understand he had an impossible task to do. But this is your job. You don't have these guys look horrible. And this is what everyone's talking about. You're gonna make me negative now. I was trying to be positive, but
the worst friggin' offensive football. But they made no changes. It's unbelievable. But again, you continue. You're bringing me down, man.
It's the truth. It's the truth, man. Listen, you can have the best offensive line players in the league, but if you don't have a coach explaining these guys what they need to do, your scheme, and who to block. What's the point? Listen. Go ahead.
So here's my question then. So then we just spent almost a half hour talking about the improvements, the on both sides of the ball, a lot of opportunities for them to get better, all these different things. The thing that's already bothering me is for some in the media and in the fan base is that there's almost like a built-in excuse for his team where it's like, oh man, this schedule's brutal. Second hardest schedule, third hardest schedule. Oh my God, I had the West Coast trip and this and that. It's like, dude, I really don't give a shit. Like, enough of these excuses. Like, let's expect more from this team. Like, where it's like, hey, you know what? They play 16 games like everybody else. Last year they got lucky with a lousy schedule, and they still played like garbage. So let's expect more from them. They're a better team, on paper. So let's have higher expectations. Like, tougher schedule, play better, travel better, have more. Like, we keep talking about culture and leadership and all this high character. To let it translate to playing better in tougher situations. Like, don't let adversity push you over. And as fans, dude, we should expect that. Like, I don't want a built-in excuse saying, oh, you know what, they're going to go 6-10 because the schedule's too tough. No, how about you just play better and win games you shouldn't win?
Well, Tyson, then I'll say this, then we should have went 10-6 last year because we had an easy-ass schedule. You know what I'm saying?
No, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, you see the articles now, dude. These articles now, like, it's going to be so tough. And even I say it, like, you can make a very good case that this team could play better than last year and have a worse record. They can end up like 6-10 and play lights out and be a lot better, which is fine. But to me, going into it, be like, we should still expect playoffs. Like, we should have, like, hey, you know what? We're better. You're bringing back C.J. Mosley, one of the best inside linebackers in football. Le'Veon Bell could be a dynamic player. Like, they had Jamal Adams. Like, dude, why not expect 9 wins?
Well, see, Tyson, I think that what you're looking at and the way I look at it, most real fans look at it, is I don't care if we lose every game. As long as I see improvement every week, I'm happy. One thing about me, man, I used to hate Mondays when we lose because it just ruined my whole damn day. I can't watch SportsCenter. It just kills me. I'm in an awful mood. But to watch my team play and fight till the end and be there, and then I can enjoy that. But now I think with the talent he's brought in, it's time to win. I mean, to me, I don't think our schedule is as hard as everyone says it is. I just don't. I mean, yeah, you got San Francisco, you got Seattle. You know what I'm saying? You have Kansas City. You have quality teams. You have the Colts. Yeah, you have good football teams. You have Buffalo. You know what I'm saying? And everyone's killing me on the Patriots. No. Listen, the Patriots didn't beat us because of their offense last year. They beat us because of their defense. So, no, don't think that people are just going to fall off. But I think that at the end of the day, I think that we have to have the mentality to take it. This is why I like what Joe Douglas did. He brought the kind of people in who don't care. Like, look, we're going to fight. So I think that we have a chance. And I think that, I don't think our schedule is as bad as everyone's making it out to be. I really don't. I think San Francisco is not good of a football team. Most teams that go to the Super Bowl and lose regress. You know what I'm saying? I just, going to the Colts. I'm not really scared of them. I'm not scared of Buffalo. You know what I mean?
Well, but see, you're kind of making my point, though. Like, listen, I think Joe Douglas, he drafted a lot of hungry guys. He's got a lot of guys on one-year contracts, which means they're all motivated because they're playing for money, which is always the ultimate motivator. But it's like, this is the mindset you kind of want to have. But listen, you're playing very good teams, but there's no reason why this team shouldn't be in every game, compete at a high level, and Sam played a high level. And you're dead right. If they lose games 31-30 and Sam Darnold's playing his ass off, I'm fine with it. Because then, we see progress. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, this kid's finally getting it. We're now moving forward finally after 10 years of nonsense. But if they're going out and losing games to bad teams and those others, to me, it's like this is the first year where I'm like, you know what? Adam Gase has a year to implement his system. Year 2, Sam in the offense. Jamal Adams and Greg Williams, year 2, all this stuff. This team should be in every game. There is no reason to go out and lose 31-0 and 41-3 and not show up in certain cities. Like, every week in, week out, dude, you're going to have a dud here and there, but they've got to be in it, dude. They have to be competitive every week now. No excuses.
And if you look at it, we're a better team than we were last year. And that's my whole point. I think last year what killed me most is losing to Miami, losing to Cincinnati. That hurt me. That bothered me.
Oh,
that
killed me. Cincinnati game was painful.
Teams, exactly, man. These are the kind of things that we shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? So, to go through that and see that, man, it just bothers me. So, it definitely has improvement on that, but like I said, man, I think it hinges on Sam, but it also hinges on our coach, too. I mean, we don't have the best coach, and that's
they all have a lot to prove, man.
A real damage. Exactly. So if he does a better job, we'll have a better season. But if he does the same thing he did last year, with just holding his clipboard sitting on the bench by himself, then good luck. You know what I mean? It's amazing to me how people just forget that, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, it's Sam's fault, it's the offensive line fault. No, all that falls on the coach. All that falls on the coach. That's his responsibility to have these guys ready. So when we go to Miami and we're not ready, or we go to Cincinnati and we don't show up, that's the coach's fault. That's not the players. That's the coach. That's the same thing that we got rid of Todd Bowles for having, for going to games and not showing up. And that's what I don't want that with Gase. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
A lot of things Gase did last year is the same stuff we claim about Bowles. It's the same thing. The same thing we claim about Bowles. Gase did last year. Same exact thing. But to go to something different, so we kind of covered this team a little bit. A couple things on you, man. You're Jeff fan a long time. Who is your favorite player of all time?
All time, man? Oh, man, bro. Has to be probably Darrelle Revis, Curtis Martin. Man. I mean, it's, Bart Scott. It's a list, bro. Like, Jim Leonard, Wayne Quebec. I mean, these guys have been true players to me. You know what I'm saying? That you follow and you love. I mean, when you're a Jet fan, man, like to me, I love every Jet player to play for the Jets. And when you leave, I don't like you anymore. That's just how it is with me, like Robbie. Like, I unfollow Robbie on all social media. Like, bro, I ain't with you. You ain't a Jet, bro. Good luck.
I did the same thing, dude, man. The minute you leave, you're done. Unfollow.
Yeah, man. You leave this team. You love this team so much, man, and you give them so much, man. And this is the one thing about it, man, that I want us to win because, as fans, man, we give so much. And I know every fan from every other team does the same thing, but, man, it's hard being a Jet fan when you get there, bro. I mean, like, I remember, like, I'll give you a prime example, man, real quick story. When we went to the AFC Championship game, right, and my son's mother called, and he hadn't been to school in like 4 days, right? She was like, yo, he didn't go to school. I was like, look, man, we in mourning, bro. We in the house for like 4 days eating ice cream, bro. I was sad. Wouldn't answer the phone. Wouldn't talk to nobody. I was depressed. I want to feel that kind of depression again. Not because, that we almost got there. But I want to win. I mean, and this is hard. It's hard watching years and years of bad management. And to be honest with you, we don't know what Joe Douglas has done, but just having somebody that has a plan, that executed a plan during the draft, Tyson, it made me feel good. Or just signing a big name in free agency, Tyrone Johnson, giving them $35-40 million to need to do shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sick of that type of mentality. We get so used to that, man. You can understand.
I'm with you, man.
10 bad drafts, man. I mean, 10. Dude. Like, come on, man. How do you have 10 bad drafts?
Dude, I can be honest with you. Last year, there was a point last year this team just broke me. They were like 1-6. Like, I couldn't. Bengals, like, this team brings out rage that I thought was gone out of my life. Like, I'm usually a pretty happy, positive person. This shit drove me crazy, man. It's just like, stop losing, stop being incompetent. Like, I can't. You can't take it anymore. But so now on a more positive thing, we don't want to bring everybody down. What is your favorite memory as a Jets fan?
I'm going to have to say, bro, the Jets and Patriots, we went to New England and beat them, bro, to go to the AFC Championship game. And Boss Scott came over there, with the can't stop a nosebleed, baby. I'm tired of being disrespected, baby. Can't wait. And also, the same game when LaDainian Thomas gave that speech.
They can't stop a nosebleed.
Any man can be beat. Any man can be beat. I'm willing to die for this, man. Yo, bro, listen. That right there, bro, it's the goose. Yo, man, that's what I love about being a Jet fan, man. Just that kind of energy and atmosphere, man. And I think that's what we do with the best. You know what I'm saying? Being a Jet fan, bringing that energy. Just it's hard because we have probably the worst media in the world, and we have the craziest fans in the world. Like, you have fans beefing with fans. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's
this fan base is bipolar, dude. This fan base is bipolar. It's so weird. Like, this is the first time we have a head coach that's actually divided the fan base. Like, you have Adam Gase defenders and Adam Gase haters. Like, and there's no in between. Like, it's like you put on a tweet, you can put a random tweet out, just mention the coach's name, and people attack. I'm like, dude, I'm just making a comment. Like, this fan base is bipolar, and it's divided, and it's just everybody wants to win, but they go about it different ways, man. It's completely crazy.
Hey, man, listen, ain't no disrespect to nobody, but I don't know who this dumbass was, but he put on, man, we need to get rid of Sam. Like, people like that, man, I don't even have a conversation with you, bro. That's just stupid. Like, especially when you've never had a quarterback. I mean, I've been through the Mark Sanchez's, bro. I've been through that,
Hackenberg and Petty and Gino and Greg McElroy.
Jesus Christ. Really trying to believe Hackenberg was a good quarterback. Just because he's a Jet. Really trying to believe this kid was somebody special. No.
Dude, I was trying to believe in Bryce Petty, man.
Bro, hey, listen, I was a Bryce Petty fan, bro. Stop playing. This is how bad
we'll buy anything, man. We're so desperate, we'll buy anything. Just give us a quarterback with an arm, we'll buy into anything.
Hey, I mean, this is how bad it's been for us, bro. We had to get excited about quarterbacks that are even playing in the league that shouldn't have been playing.
Shit, I was looking for Josh Johnson at one point.
I remember bringing in Michael Vick getting happy, man. Like, we got Vick, man, and he still sucks. Like, bro, this is what it is, man. It's just, and the knock Sam, bro. Like, man, don't say that, man. I headbutt the shit out you, bro, for that, bro. Don't do that.
All right, so Tyrone, I asked you a bunch of questions. 40 minutes of you talking. Do you have anything you want to ask me before I let you go?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh-oh.
Mr. Tyson,
I
got 3 questions for you, man.
Uh-oh.
Number 1, how do you enjoy doing the show and keeping your sanity while doing it?
It's interesting, dude. It's never a dull moment. I think the one thing I like about this show the most is that everybody's so diverse, man. It's like you never know what to expect from like a live show. Like, the calls are live. We don't know what nobody's going to say, what nobody's going to do, what nobody's going to react to. That's so much fun, dude. And meeting all you guys. Like, dude, we're just fans, man. I get attacked for we're not radio hosts, dude. We're friggin' fans. And meeting all you guys and talking it and just the diversity of it, dude, is so friggin' fun. And to get a chance, to be completely honest with you, man, last week I interviewed Aaron Glenn, and that was the coolest friggin' thing I've ever done in my life. He's one of my favorite players of all time. Like, I bought his jersey like in 1995. He signed it. Like, that was my guy. to get a chance to interview him, dude, that was it. That made my, I can stop doing this shit. I'd be happy as hell. Like, that was just, it's cool as hell, man.
All right. Question number 2, Tyson.
Uh-oh.
What's your best Jet memory?
Easy. Jacksonville Jaguars playoff game, Giant Stadium, like 1998. Keyshawn Johnson had a rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, a fumble recovery, and an interception. Another one of my favorite players. I love Keyshawn. I actually used to write for him. The best stadium environment I've ever. It's the stadium. Dude, we started tailgating at like 6:30 in the morning, and then after the game, people in the parking lot were bringing around like bottles of champagne and celebrating and going nuts. It was the best stadium atmosphere as a Jets fan I've ever been a part of. I mean, I've been to other games, like playoff games, dude. Tyrone, that was the best. A home playoff game for Jets fans is just the ultimate experience, and that good of a team. Like, that team was stacked. So that was it, man. Easily, hands down.
And my last and the most important question: which caller gets on your nerve the most?
Let's see.
You don't got to answer.
You're setting me up here.
That one.
I'll answer,
dude.
That one. You know what, dude? I'll answer it. You know what? I don't get mad at anybody. I love you know me, dude. I love to argue. Like, I love debate. I love heated debates. So nobody really bothers me. You know, it's just you get used to it. Dude, when the show gets tough is when they suck so bad there's nothing to talk about. And it's like you feel obligated to kind of try to do something, but when they're just every caller is like doom and gloom, it just gets boring, dude. Like, there's nothing, like, you don't have the energy for it. Like, I get sent to it with you too, man. Sometimes you're just like, dude, this sucks. That's the hardest time to do this kind of stuff.
I'm gonna say this right here, and I'm gonna let everyone know that there's never got a chance to meet Tyson, man. When you get a chance to meet Tyson and have a couple of calls on with Tyson, I'm telling you, man, you're gonna drink a lot. Like, you're gonna drink a lot. Like,
the rough time
drink a lot, Tyson. Like, but it was nice though, man. We had a good time that day. The party didn't want to stop. But you know what's so amazing is, man, you know, guys over the years have shown nothing but love, man. You, Prime Time, you got Jay, Joe, you guys are amazing, man. You know, as a fan, I really appreciate you guys giving me a platform to talk Jets and just be a part of, you know, the family. And I really appreciate that, man. You know, and just being exactly who, you know, you were exactly who I thought you was when I met you. You know, you didn't miss a beat, man. I was so impressed with that. And, you know, I look at you as family. I just, you know, you're amazing.
You stole me some sunglasses.
Yo, well, listen, you know, when you saw me, right, you were like, yeah, you know, I kept seeing Twitter, like, anybody see Tyrone yet? Anybody see Tyrone yet? And, yo, my man Ryan, bro, you know, that's my guy right there. Like, I love him like a little brother, man. Yo, when I say, man, he came and, yo, him and his wife, yo, when I say he came and found me, bro, he found me. Like, yo, Tyrone, I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was his honeymoon as well, too, bro. That was his honeymoon. I mean, not his honeymoon. That was his anniversary. That's why I love his wife so much. I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You let your husband come out here and be with family, yo. Nothing but love, man. And after all this corona stuff is over, you're supposed to be coming out, right?
Dude, we're gonna tear things to pieces, man. Me, you, Ryan, whoever wants to go to Virginia, we're just go nuts, man. I can't take this quarantine any longer. No way. So Tyrone, before I let you go, though, man, give out all your information, man, because we're gonna feature this interview on our YouTube and everything like that. But let everybody know how they can follow you on social media.
Man, it's Tyrone Johnson on Facebook. Is TIP_EZY on Instagram, and it's, you know, Tyrone Johnson on Twitter. So, you know, guys, get at me, give me some feedback, let me know how you guys enjoyed this, man. Like I said, I appreciate the opportunity for coming on here. I hope I didn't bore you guys too much, and, you know, thanks so much, Tyson. I really appreciate you, brother.
Tyrone, be safe. Thank you for your time, and I cannot wait to get the feedback on this. I'm sure we're going to get roasted, but who cares? It makes it fun.
Hey, thank you, brother. I appreciate you, brother.
Take care, brother. Talk to you later.
All right, bro. Go.
All right, everybody. So this is going to be a series that we're going to do. We're just going to pick out callers that have called in before. We're going to interview them, talk about it, get their memories, get their players, maybe have some arguments, do whatever else. Hopefully you guys like this. And then we're going to open it up to our Twitter accounts, social media accounts, and you guys can say, hey, listen, I want to be on, I want to talk about this, or do whatever else, and we'll figure it out. So I guess that's it. Follow us on YouTube, Let's Talk Jets Radio. We're on Spreaker, iTunes, everything else. Let's Talk Jets Radio, and we'll talk to you later.